I built a full personal branding website for under $100. And before you think, you don't need a personal branding website, it's just not important. Let me tell you why I think having a personal branding website is so unbelievably important. And as well as that, in this video, I want to show you exactly how you can make one for well under $100 and in probably, less than half an hour. So with Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, do we need a personal branding website as well? And the answer is yes. And let me tell you a few reasons why. Well, firstly, it can be great for getting a job. A lot of the time, especially now, when you go and try and get a job, your employer is going to look you up on the internet. And you don't just want them finding your Facebook and your Instagram and all of these different things. But if they stumble across your website where you can make it look like however you want it to look like, it can basically be your online CV, it will make you stand out from the rest. Now, other people might also have a personal branding website, and that's fine. But this is just one added thing to really make you that much more desirable. Like social media, it can lead to you connecting with others, except with social media like Instagram or TikTok or whatever, they're looking at you for a couple of seconds, maybe they're scrolling through some photos, but with a website, they're going to be browsing your website, they're going to be reading your blogs, they're going to be spending a lot more time looking at you, which means it helps you build a much stronger fan base, which is really good down the line. Now, if you don't want to build a fan base, if that's not what your aim is, that's still absolutely fine, and there's still many other benefits to building a personal branding website. It could lead to bigger and better things. For example, it could lead to writing gigs, it could lead to speaking gigs, it could lead to jobs or whatever, anything basically. If a company sees your website and they like the look of it, they might contact you. You never know what having a good website could lead to. You might not be in the website creation business, or you might not be in the public speaking business. But if someone approaches you and they say, look, I think you're amazing at this, would you be willing to do this? You might say yes. It could be an entire game changer for you. And my personal favorite, and I kind of touched on this before, is having a personal branding website doesn't come with any of the preconceptions that having Instagram or TikTok or Facebook has. So for example, if you are going to an employer, or you're just at a dinner, a function or a dinner, and you're talking about what you have, as soon as you say Instagram, people assume certain things. As soon as you say TikTok, people assume certain things, and it's out of your control. But as soon as you say, oh, I have my own website, people go, ooh, that's cool, you have your own website? What's on your website? And I know it's 2021, and a lot of the time, it's so easy to make a website, as you're going to see in this video, and everyone can have a website, but there are still so many people who just immediately go, ooh, you have a website? And finally, before I actually show you how to build a website, the last one here is everyone can benefit from a website. If you're a personal trainer, a nutritionist, a therapist, literally anyone, right? A consultant, it doesn't matter. Everyone can benefit from having a personal branding website. So now that I've hopefully convinced you about a personal branding website, let me show you exactly how to build one for under $100. Now, the personal branding website builder that I use is Xyro. I think it's the most affordable, and I think it's the easiest to use, and that's who we are going to use in this quick tutorial. The link is in the description if you do want to get Xyro at any point, and there's a special discount if you use the code SHIMMY, but even if you don't use that, the link should work with the discount. And at the moment, they do have 3 months free when you purchase any yearly plan. But more on that later. Let's build out a personal branding website. So what does this website need to showcase? Does it need to showcase anything in particular? And that depends on who you are. You might want to showcase a blog, a CV, a couple of photographs, your Instagram page, whatever. But you want to showcase what you want to showcase. For me, I'll show you what I would want to showcase. Maybe some experience that you've had, previous experience, maybe your portfolio. If you're an app developer or something, you can have it show whatever you want. So let's click create new website in the top right corner, and we can use a template, we can use their AI website generator, or we can import an existing one. So we're going to just choose a template. And now let's search for personal branding. Let's see if I don't even think anything's going to come up, but let's just search, right? I feel like nothing's going to come up, which is absolutely, I know, okay, so things did come up. This is really cool. Okay. So, there's so many different ones. I kind of like this one. Now, Let's just click start building. Okay, because we clicked the template, it's going to give us everything we really need in the website, right? Now, this is a specific photography looking template, and we can adjust everything from the photo to the title to the menu over here to the footer, all of it. And let me just quickly show you the overview of this platform, and then we're going to get to start building. Okay, so firstly, over here on the left, we have here, this is pages and navigation. So the navigation over there, you can see if we move this, projects will now move to the middle, right? And then if we add home, we drag home up, right? Home will go there. As well as that, we can also add a new page, right? We can add a page that's already here, we can import a page, or we can add a blank page, right? And now it's just a new page, okay? Likewise with this, we can add a new drop down, or we can just add a link. For now, we're gonna delete this new page, right? And we're going to continue. So that's the navigation. Now these are elements, right? This plus button, this is the element. So here we can drag in elements. So let's say we want to drag this in and we want it to go over here, right? Right bang in the middle, right? We can do whatever we want. We can resize it just by dragging like that, right? We can do whatever we want with it. And that's the element section, right? And we can do that for pretty much any of the elements. The embed code is really cool. I'm going to be using this a bit later to add a Spotify feature. And when I say Spotify feature, I mean my podcast. It would be cool if my podcast was on the website. You then have this, which is website styles. And here you can kind of just mess around with the different colors, but I wouldn't worry about this just yet. And then you have text. So when you're writing text, you can see you can click edit text and you can see from specific headings. Right now, if you go to change text styles, it opens that up and you're able to edit individual headings. So if we open this, let's go back, styles, we can choose the style we want, edit the styles, edit the headings, and now heading 1, heading 2, and that way it's just saved for us for when we go and change something a bit later. You then have the blog, so you can click start a blog, right? And then you can add a blog post. And now you have this new part of the navigation, blog, and you can go and actually create some blog posts. Okay, and then you've got online store. So if you do want to have an online store, this is where you can add it. Now, we're not going to do an online store for this video because we're just talking about building a personal branding website, and I can't imagine anyone really selling stuff on their own personal branding website. So what pages do we want? So if this is me, I'm going to change a couple of things. I'm going to change the project page, and rename it to photos, or I'll change it to portfolio. I like that, right? Portfolio. I like the name. I like the sound of that, right? And this page is going to be like a portfolio kind of page. So we can get rid of all of this stuff. I don't really care about any of this, right? Don't really care about any of this. Right now it's blank, right? I can change the background here. I can change this as well, the logo, the background. So at the moment we've got Harpreet as the logo. Let's replace that with my own logo. So I've saved this over there, and now we can see that is my logo. Let's click this and click add to page, and really simple, that's where it is. It shows up there. We can change the logo width, right? We can change the menu item spacing between the logo and all of that. And I can't change the color of this logo, but then I made this in Photoshop and I uploaded it. So you can always change the color later. What you can do is we can change the navigation color as a background, right? So if I want it to be that color, the logo stands out a bit more, or black, now the logo completely disappears. So let's go for custom colors and go for a muted kind of blue. That looks quite nice, right? Now, likewise, we can also change the color of this. So home, portfolio, the navigation parts, right? So if we click over here, the little paintbrush over there, we can either, by the way, make the header transparent, right? We can also make it stick. So in layout, we can make it a sticky header. So when you scroll down, it's always there. But if we go back to style, we can change the header text color to match our logo. So now it just all matches. It looks seamless. It looks nice. Except the thing is, I don't like the color of this gray. So here again, we can simply just click change background and we can choose whatever color we want, right? That's a bit, let's go for a custom color, which is our exact color, or we can kind of just change this up a bit. Now this is a very ugly looking website at the moment, and that's completely fine, but that's kind of what it looks like right now. This is my portfolio page. So bear in mind, if I go to my home page, right, this background is going to be different. If I go to my contact, this background is going to be different. The navigation bar always stays the same. Right, so the first thing we want to add, because this is going to be our portfolio page, is some sort of gallery or image. So if we just add a single image, it will look something like that. Then we can change the image. Now let's delete this. And if we want to add the gallery, this is what it will look like, right? So it can look like this. Now, of course, we can edit the gallery, so we can change the number of items per row. We can make them huge. The gaps between the photos, we can do all of that, make no gap. We can also go for the masonry look, which I actually kind of like. It looks a lot more fluid, right? And as well as that, you've got open full screen previews. When you click them, you'll be able to see them, right? So let's just go for grid. Let's go for, 4 items. Let's make them a bit nearer. And let me just quickly change these so you can kind of see. Manage gallery, and then let's delete all of these. We don't need any of these images really. And then we can click add images over here. All we now have to do is drag, and then it will go like this. And then we'll be able to actually, so we can skip unsupported files, of course, because if something is too large or whatever, these are professional photos, so that does make sense that some of them would be too big. You might have to convert them, make them a bit smaller. But so far, this is absolutely fine, right? So these are the 4 images I'm going to be adding to the gallery. And again, this is not going to be a final look of a website. This is just showing you how to build one. So if we do add to gallery and add those 4 to the gallery, we should be all good. Brilliant. Right, okay, now let's just click exit, and you can see the photos are there. Now if we go for settings and change it, we won't have squares, we'll have what the photos actually look like, okay? And we can make the photos much, much bigger. I prefer something like that, right? And as well as that, we can also drag this, so we can make this bigger. You see, it's one thing I really like about using Xyro as a platform is that this grid over here, we can just move it up and down. We can add something to the grid and we can make it bigger or smaller. So for example, we're going to make this huge, right? Really huge, takes up the whole area. And now all we have to do is click add element, add text, and we can add this text over here, drag this out so it only shows up on the top line. And let's change the title here to my portfolio. Right, now obviously we need to change this about a bit, so we need to make this black. We need to give this a heading. Now I'm not going to bother messing with fonts at the moment because honestly that doesn't really matter. You guys can mess with that in your own time. It's really not such a big deal, but all we have to do is click that. And if we do want to change this font, all we have to do is go into change text styles, and that will open up this where we can actually change fonts and stuff. Right, we've got my portfolio. Cool, looks nice and professional, right? We can center it. So at the moment you can see it's not centered, right? So let's just drag this out, and now it's perfectly centered, right? Perfectly centered. And at the bottom of each page, you can have a contact me section or whatever. So if we click add section over here, we can have a contact form at the bottom of every single page so people can get in touch with you, and you can just have a very basic contact form, right? The bottom of every single part of your website, because at the end of the day, this website is to either show you off or kind of make you look or show everything that you do, your portfolio or whatever it may be, your CV, it doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, you want people to potentially get in contact with you, so you can have that there. Right, the next would be the about. So I actually kind of like this. So what I would do is I would add my own image to this, right? I would find a picture of me and add it here, and I just have to click change image, replace image over here, right? And then I'll just upload a picture of me and I'll put it there. I might remove this, but what I do like is that you can drag text on top of an image, right? Now with a lot of websites, a lot of drag and drop websites, this is almost impossible because it will just snap to the side of it and it won't let you layer things. And I really like layering things because sometimes it looks good. If like that's on the side there, I know that's really hard to read. I would change the font and all of that, and I would change the opacity of the picture, but it's really nice to know that I can layer it. All right, and as well as that, I would change this background as well to match. So let's just say I want to go and pick this one and then go up there and kind of do that. I like that a lot. Right now with this whole thing, I would probably want to move this somewhere more in the middle, right? And you know, that looks quite cool. Now with contact, you want to have a contact form. So at the moment I don't like this, so I'm going to add a section and I'm going to have a contact form section. And let's say I'm just going to do this one, right? Now I'm going to remove this section, but just want to show you, you can make a section bigger or smaller just by dragging up or dragging down. But let's delete this section, and now we just have this. I would probably change this image to an image of me again. I would then potentially add another section underneath, maybe a map of where I'm located, right? Now, what's really cool here is when you add a new section, you have all of these different templates. You've got video, testimonials, subscribe form, social icons, and you can see what they all look like, right? Subscribe to newsletter, testimonials from people, video, which is cool. You've got a slideshow, which could be a slideshow of photos, which is really, really cool. You've got a map, Instagram feed, images, and this is just like having a gallery. So if you don't want to have images like we just made on my portfolio, you can add an entire gallery section, and it kind of makes your website look like it has an album, right? And then you've got headlines, footers, contact form, gallery, and about. So for argument's sake, let's go to home and let's add a section, right? Let's add a section, and we're going to add a slideshow, right? And we're going to add bring your ideas to life. Now we want this section to move up, right? And you can see you can go through slides, but let's click this arrow and this will now move it up to the top. So you can kind of see how easy it is to be building this website. You can pretty much change everything. And I could probably mess around with this for a few days, but quite honestly, after half an hour, if you have all your photos ready, you have all your text ready, you could have a good website going in literally, an hour, half an hour tops. So now that we've got that, we've got our homepage. This is looking really ugly, I know, and I'm going to show you just what my actual website looks like. This is what my website actually looks like. Okay, we've got hello, I'm Shimi, a YouTuber, blah blah blah. I've got a video that I've embedded in over here, right? If we scroll down, we can see you can stay in touch with me with all the social icons and my most recent blogs, right? You then have my story, which I haven't actually updated, but I need to update my story, and this is basically my about page. And then you've got resources, so these are all the affiliate tools that I use and all that kind of stuff. You then have the podcast. So this is my actual podcast that I do, and you can see I've embedded the Spotify play-in, so I can literally just click play and it will start playing. After it's loaded, it will start playing, right? Really, really cool. Now, obviously you need to have some sort of Spotify membership, but it's quite cool. My headphones are plugged in, that's why we can't hear anything, right? And then again, I have a video embedded just talking a bit about the podcast. And then I have my blog, and I simply have a contact me. So I've made my website really, really basic. These all click to things as well. I just haven't finished making those pages yet. I like the whole idea of having a start here. Now, this is my personal branding website, and this could lead to jobs. This could lead to so many different things. And that's what I want for you. So now that you kind of get an understanding on how to build a personal branding website, what all of these different navigation things mean, I want you to go out and try and build your own personal branding website. Time yourself maybe, see how long you can do it, see how long it will take you, maybe an hour or 2 hours, and then let me know, either email me or DM me on Instagram, your personal branding website, and let me have a look at it. And I would love to actually look at everyone's personal branding website and potentially give you my thoughts on what I think, right? And it's very simple. Once you've done that, you can preview it, you can publish it, and you're good to go. Now, let me just quickly show you a couple of extra things, because obviously with a personal branding website, you're going to want your name, right? So let's say your name is Joe Blogs, joeblogs.com, right? So what we're going to do is, we've saved this. Now let's go back to Xiro, the homepage of Xiro. And all we have to do is we can see all our websites, right? Harpreet, that's the one. My website, right? You can go to edit website or settings. We're going to click settings, and that will open up this. Well, it will open up the website builder, but will open up a specific area of the website builder, right? We've got general settings, right? Domain, integrations, online store, subscription, SEO, and form submission. So if we go into domain, we can connect your own domain, or you can buy a new domain, right? And it's very, very simple. I'm not going to buy a domain now because I already own one, but you can literally just buy a domain. .com is $8.99 a year, and you can see all the different prices here. And you can do it all through Xiro. Now, personally, I buy my domains through GoDaddy, and then I connect it in afterwards, and that's what I did for ShimiMorris.com and pretty much all my websites. But that is how you would do it. You would click your own domain, and providing you have a Xiro plan, it will take you through the steps to actually add a domain. So before we move on, I want to just quickly show you the Xiro plans, because I think they're really, really good and really affordable, and this is why they're under $100. These are the Zyro plans, and you get 3 months free with any yearly plan, which is a huge deal. You can see the website loading time compared to other websites. You can also connect this to a separate hosting service to make it even faster. And I'm going to talk about that in other videos. And that's if you want to make an insane website with some serious speeds. You can see the 24/7 customer support, right? And you've got prices start at $2.90. So if we click get started, it will show us everything, right? And the one I went for is Unleashed. Right now, you could go for basic if that's something you want, but I went for Unleashed. You've also got e-commerce and e-commerce plus. So if we click select and we go to the next page, we've got 1 year, which is $5.31 a month. 4 years is $3.51 a month, right? And so on, so on. So 1 year will end up costing me $63.72. And this is what I mean, a website under $100. That is insanely cheap, like ridiculously cheap. And that's also with my coupon applied. You can see my coupon is applied here, right? And as well as that, you get free hosting with every Zyro plan. But like I said, if you do want to go with, faster, even better hosting, you can, but it's not really necessary. And you've also got a 30-day money back guarantee. So look, if you are interested in building your own personal branding website and you see the value in doing it, I genuinely think Zyro is the best option. Look, I've used Squarespace, I've used Wix, I've used these other platforms, and personally, I found Zyro to be the best for me, and that's why I want to share it with you. So let me know in the comments down below what you think, and let me just now break down some misconceptions, some myths around personal branding websites. Now, that's how easy it was to create a personal branding website. You see, now you have a personal branding website, I have one, we all have one, and we stand out from the rest. Right, and this will be good for job interviews. This will be good for anything, literally anything. And let me just quickly go over a few misconceptions. People think a personal branding website is only for influencers. Now, that's not really true now, is it? Because anyone can have a personal branding website. You don't have to be an influencer to have a personal branding website. And like I said at the beginning of this video, it can benefit you regardless of if you're an influencer or if you're not an influencer. Another misconception is you will never be able to sell your website, your brand name, your brand, if you just use your own name. And that's another thing which I don't believe in, right? People think you can't scale because it's your own name. So if I have a personal branding website, Shimmy Morris, and maybe I'm a personal trainer or something, right? People think you can't scale. But I know firsthand of people who have their own name as their company, who have scaled to multiple employees and who now don't even do anything themselves, but they have the whole business running for them. Likewise, they could sell their business very easily. So that is just a very popular misconception when it comes to having your own personal branding company or website. The third one is it's not important if you have a job, right? Why would you need your personal branding website if you just have a job? Well, like I said before, it allows you to stand out to future employers and it makes you just look a little bit different, a little bit more professional, a little bit more refined, and that's what you want. And this goes hand in hand with, well, if I've got social media, then why do I need a personal branding website? And like I said, there are many benefits, like I said at the beginning of the video, but the biggest one being having your own personal branding website, you control the narrative, right? There's no preconceptions of what people think you get up to on those platforms. It's your own website, and if someone wants to see it, they have to go and check it out. Whereas if you say you have Instagram, they can just assume what's going to be on there. Well, there you have it, and hopefully now that you've watched this video, you think personal branding websites are pretty good and you might want to get one. So definitely go and check out the link in the description to see Zyro and to sign up and be able to build your own personal branding website for under $100. I probably said the word personal branding 40 times in this video, I don't know. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.